This game features some disturbing concepts and imagery. If this is a concern for your mental health, please tread carefully.
I'm rambling. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again.
Don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. I have this problem. Books and...
When I let things like books and writings fill my thoughts, my whole body gets... I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange.
Please stop me if I start talking too much. Don't think you need to worry. Passion not reading. It's a literature club after all. That's true. Might as well get started reading it. You don't have to. It's fine if I sit here. It's a little apprehensive. Not very used to. See, remember when she said she specifically likes, like, hanging out with one other person and, like, doing stuff like reading with them? Specifically something she's not used to. She's not actually looking at her own book. She's reading from my book instead. Oh, good God, I skipped through. It was going to be skipped over. We're both holding the book. Eyeballing the back of the screen, everything looks normal. The computer was definitely there last time. We're huddled even closer than before, it's distracting. Read the book, turn the page. Main character reminds me of you a little bit. That's different.
No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not.
Really? I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. Which, this... Oh, look at her face, too. I don't think we saw that face before. Eyeballing the background. I'm gonna take another look in the files. Ooh. Okay, Can You Hear Me was recreated, but it's the same thing.
That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her.
Yeah. I thought you meant something else about her. You know, the character that dismembers people and likes to cut things, I guess. Something else?
Never mind.
That face again.
We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head.
Yuri, are you feeling all right?
Huh?
Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little...
My breathing?
Yuri puts her hand on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat.
I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water.
All right, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Go approximately one step further before switching back to the other line.
Twinge? Did something happen just now?
We're gonna switch back over here. I am a Time Lord. Well, apparently I'm not a Time Lord, Blackfire. The game caught me on trying to be a Time Lord, but I'm still gonna be as much of a Time Lord as I can be now.
She just needed some water. Everything's fine. Oh, jeez. Natsuki, are you okay? Here.
Monica reaches into her bag and pulls out some kind of protein bar. Okay, this is less to the point than I expected from the initial geez, right? She throws it in Natsuki's direction. Right. Wait, no, it was the other way around, though. That was on day... Is that on day 2 or day 3? But Sayori was the one that was thrown at, not and Natsuki threw it. Natsuki's eyes suddenly light up again. She snatches the bar from the floor and immediately tears off the wrapper. I told you not to give. That's interesting. I told you not to give. She doesn't even finish her sentence before stuffing it in her mouth. So this ties back in with into their stomach, forcing them to drown their guilt in comfort food. So, like I said, food is going to be prominent for sure. Yuri ran off into the hall to utilize her knife.
Don't worry, Twinge. She's fine. It just happens every now and then. That's why I always keep a snack in my bag for her. Anyway, why don't we all share poems now?
Okay, background is standard, perspective is standard. Monica's poem will be different. Yeah, everyone's poem might be different. I guess I'll start with Natsuki. Sure. Told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first.
Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all,
Natsuki rereads my poem.
Never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion.
Huh? Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things, you know.
Yeah.
In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Always do what Monica says.
Well, I'd be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You're supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. You went and ruined it. I hope you're happy.
So, in other words, you're saying you liked it? Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat.
You're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important.
I'm pretty sure you never actually said that. The light, yeah. I say that mostly to myself.
Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Okay, so this is still the same poem from Natsuki. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. But that's about it. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. And then we lie and say I like it. Why are you so convinced I wouldn't like it? Everyone in high school thinks writing has to be sophisticated. People should express themselves. Like when it's easy to read but it hits you hard. Yeah, no, that's not true in this poem. I'm sorry, Natsuki. Well, most I don't like that he calls it wordplay. It's not wordplay. I think that's a bit much. It's a bit much. So Yuri's gonna like my poem less, and we'll see how that flows. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. Because last time I assumed you had written several and it was your first. I guess that it might be after reading through it. Ah, so it's that bad. No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. And I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes, stammering's gone, can't be... Oh. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. That might be old. It's supposed to be a literature club. So, yes, this is the same. Ghost Under the Light.
You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Annie with a giant pile of generosity tonight. Holy crap! So remember when I said I was disappointed that we didn't even get to go to the festival and we didn't have a chance to read my poem? You know how the in-game characters said they just read one they found online? Well, I was prepared, okay? So... 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the burrow goves, and the mome raths outgrabe. Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jubjub bird, and shun the frumious bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand. Long time the Maxome foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And in uffish thought he stood. The Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the Tugly wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through, the Vorpal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frabjous day, callooh, callay, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the burrow goves, and the mome raths outgrave. All right. That's right, extra credit. Extra credit. Anyway, we'll read Yuri's poem here. Again. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time.
Congratulations!
Here's where I'm supposed to, sell out, if someone else, or if, I don't know, two of those people have been gifted subs, renew with a $1 sub, then we do something special, right? That's the appropriate sellout follow-up? I think it is. Let me finish this poem, and we'll figure out. We might my favorite poem is a lot longer, but we could potentially do that. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Oh, man. I was mostly just joking, but thank you kindly for the bits, Cactus, and for continuing the subs, Tom and Brandvool. Appreciate it, folks. Sellout percentage is working. But I didn't actually make a promise, but a vague implication of a promise is a promise, right? Sort of. If we're gonna do that, though, I'm gonna take a break first so I can get a fresh drink. But yeah, let's roll into. We're embracing the literature club here, folks. We're embracing the literature club, having fun with the poetry.
You win! Congratulations!
Holy crap! Yuri, that's also my reaction. That's also my reaction, Yuri. That's right, Sap. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like my feelings. 8 hours into Doki Doki, 9 hours, whatever we're at, is like extreme joy and happiness and love for the world, right? Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, "tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my book surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. Sir, said I, or madam, cruelly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. This I whispered, and in an echo murmured back the word, Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see, then, what threat it is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but, with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. Perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy quest be short and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing a bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculpted bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before, on the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters is only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster till his song one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking, fancy into fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore, meant in croaking, nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated over, and whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating over, she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite and nepenthe from the memories of Lenore. Quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil, whether tempest sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore.
"Prophet," said I, "thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that binds us above, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within that distant Aden, it shall clasp a Satan maiden, whom the angels named Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, who the angels named Lenore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." "Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend," I shrieked upstarting, "get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of thy lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight over him streaming throws his shadows on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. I like Doki Doki Literature Club to Edge Crimson. But yeah, so that's my favorite poem. And it's just really fun to read, and now I'm like sweating. All right, what horrible things are about to happen now? Handwriting took you a long time to read. It took me a very long time to read. That's because, look, you wouldn't understand, Yuri. Monica would probably understand, but I don't think you would understand. I wanted to write something a little more mild. Yeah, your poems do get more intense later. I suppose that's technically a new line. Just remember, it won't be long until you pick up these sorts of things too.
Because, like, we already did stuff that impressed her the first time, so she said it differently there. Alright, yeah, all of that's nice and normal. So, I'm thinking about choosing a different poem after we share this one with Monica, though. We'll see.
If you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening.
This is a game with lines of text in it.
Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Well, I mean, I do have maybe one minor issue. Yeah, we'll bring it up another time, I guess. I had Monica my poem.
I like it, Twinge.
Really?
It's a lot cuter than I expected.
Oh, jeez.
No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment.
If you say so.
Yup. If you're interested in Natsuki, then always keep a snack on you. She'll cling to you like a puppy.
So, like, since we never really did anything that stood out too much to Natsuki last time, like, I'm wondering how much of this was old or not.
Natsuki's dad doesn't give her lunch money or leave her any food in the house, so she's in a fussy mood pretty often.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah, we didn't, like, I'm sure at least some of this would have been hinted at the first time. It's unclear if it would have been this blatant the first time. And we can't check currently. We tried, basically. Game didn't like that.
But sometimes she just loses all her strength and shuts down. Like earlier.
It's potentially damning. So she might perish not from food but from lack thereof. It's a possibility.
This is just a guess, but I think she's so small because her malnutrition is interfering with her adolescent growth. But hey, some guys are into petite girls too, you know? Sorry, just trying to look at the bright side. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now?
Yeah, that doesn't work, so like... Monica deleted all my save files and called me out when I copied over my backups of the save files, okay? Alright, so is her poem going to be different or the same? About a coin flip. This looks different, but similar to the second one? I don't remember. But yeah, this is different. I think. Hole in the wall, or hole in wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glance at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. So... am I he? It's possible I'm he. Not Twinge, to be clear, me. Me personally.
So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay.
Emphasis on timing, between words and lines. I mean, so she didn't like have... Yeah, the first one was a lot more spaced out. Right? What was the inspiration behind this one, Monica?
Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
I was nodding aggressively to this the first time too, I believe. A recent epiphany, you say?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other, or it's just the two of us.
What's your writing tip of the day, Monica? It's the same. Looks like it's the same. Big dark full of ink. I mean, she actually does give good advice. Like, all 3 bits of her advice were like legitimate good advice. I guess that's everyone. That twisted instrument there.